Of course, wait till some people get up in here. I need to see if y'all can even hear me or not. Man, this has been a whole bunch of crazy shit going on for real, for real. People talking this and that about the whole Blac Youngsta situation, saying Young Dolph dry snitching. I'm trying to see how many of y'all didn't even listen to the whole thing about the Bulletproof album by Young Dolph. What up, though? Who all checking in, man? This make like a weekly little wrap up to talk about everything that's been going on, to answer y'all questions, man, live and shit. What's the word? When I think McMill, shit, man, I really believe anytime soon. He been real active on, you know, social media. He been moving around. His birthday thing just landed. I kind of think maybe within the next month or so, he probably gonna drop something out of nowhere, to be honest with you. Leslie, what up, though? I really believe so. Who all got Grand Theft Auto? But, man, what's y'all opinion on what's going on with Blac Youngsta, man? People talking about, what up, though? What up, though? How did I get in touch with 40 Glocc? Shit, I basically just hit him up on IG. I had already did a blog about 40 Glocc and the dude Zupone maybe like a couple months ago, and he caught wind of it, and I guess he didn't like it or whatever, and had his few words or whatever. That's why if you kind of watch that whole interview, towards the end he was like, you know, I ain't got no problem directly with you, you know what I'm saying? He know the whole thing with how bloggers, how we just put out the information or whatever. And basically I just hit him up like, shit, man, unless you know, still tripping over that blog, I want to get your opinion on some shit that's going on with Wack 100 in this whole situation. And he just started from the bottom to the top. And just was, you know, and unfortunately, I ain't gonna say unfortunately, but it just, a lot of what's going on with Wack 100 and all that stuff still surrounds that fight with him, you know, with the game. And I don't think a lot of people even peeped that he was just saying that, you know, Birdman is really the cause of all that shit. You be seen not too long ago with Birdman trying to sign Compton Menace and AR Rab to his squad. I don't 100% know if Compton Menace did, but I guess Compton Menace fuck with him tough, and Birdman just got a lot of people out there on the West Coast that's on 40 head for that situation. What up, though, Don? What up, though, D-Boy? What's good? But yeah, what's y'all opinion on this whole Blac Youngsta situation without really getting too into detail? But have any of y'all heard the whole Bulletproof? Like, I skipped through it and listened to a couple songs. 'Cause I don't, like, if I'm just in the club or if I'm in the car or something like that, yeah, I'll listen to Young Dolph, because it be banging, you know what I'm saying? But I don't just listen to, because to me he talk about the same shit all the time, so it's like I don't really just be dissecting his words and his raps for real. But people say all through his album he been dry snitching, and that's a part of what gave the police enough evidence to start an investigation to get them to come arrest him, you know what I mean? But supposedly no one really reporting. I'm not seeing anything, but I know Blac Youngsta's Instagram is actually closed right now. People say he done got out and he closed it down because he don't want to hear the backlash of what people possibly might put inside of his comment section and shit. You know how people be going wild. But I don't know, that's just a crazy situation. You know, I don't condone violence and stuff like that, but my thing is, even if it was Young Dolph and Blac Youngsta, if it was anybody else, like, you got enough money, I don't see where it would be smart enough for you to go put in some work with your own hands like that. Like, to me, that don't make no sense. Right, D-Boy. The whole track list was just like, that wasn't even track list. He just basically just said his thoughts and put it all into and called them different songs. What? Your belly button retracted. What the hell is Sauce Walking talking about? But other than that, man, a lot of people, and I'm just gonna let y'all know since y'all tapped in right now, for the people, on one of the videos I was like, you know, I got like 2 or 3 more interviews lined up that I was supposed to do, and it was all surrounding that Wack 100 situation. It was a dude that was supposed to be directly from Wack 100 hood, from his own set and everything, that grew up with him. Me and him was supposed to do an interview. I hit him up the night before, the day before we were supposed to do it. He was like, yeah. And then maybe like 2 hours before the interview was supposed to pop off, he was like, you know, I ain't gonna be able to do it today. And Napoleon brother, you know, Napoleon from the Outlaws, he was supposed to do an interview, and it was down there the same thing. Like, I don't really know. I don't know if Wack 100 really just got that much pull out there in the streets when niggas are just reneging because they scared of some backlash or what. But I don't know. That shit's kind of odd to me how everybody was down to do it. We exchanged numbers and everything, and then less than a day or 24 hours, 20 minutes or whatever before we supposed to do the interview, everybody renege and bag up out of the situation. Like, it's crazy. And then Messy Marv, we already talked on the phone. We supposed to put our interview together at the end of the week. Let me ask y'all this. Any of y'all Messy Marv fans or know who Messy Marv is? Because if so, I want to get some questions from y'all to see. All right, Leslie, I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to get some questions from y'all that y'all want me to ask Messy Marv. But what did you say, Leslie? What do I think about Wack 100, man? Me personally, I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of shit. People have been saying that behind the scenes that Wack 100 was really doing all that because he was trying to gauge the views off of his social media to try to kind of get LT and them to cut him a check for promotion, but at the same time stirring up a whole. My thing is, if you're really trying to get promotion for a movie that's coming out, I don't see why you would dog the nigga. It seems like by dogging him, that would make more people not want to go see the movie. I don't get like his psychology behind that. Plus they say Wack's supposed to be trying to start a podcast too, so I don't know really if that's going to help the situation. Yeah, but for the dude, Sir Johnson, yeah, it's crazy. I'm going to keep it real with you. The very, very, very first video I ever put on this channel was a Messy Marv interview. He the one that got me to even doing the YouTube stuff. I used to just be on Twitter posting different songs that I like, and I guess he thought I was a blog. It was right after the Reno situation where he got fucked up and, you know, been through that little situation. You know, every nigga in the streets take an L. But long story short, I guess he thought I was a blog, so he hollered at me and was like, hey, you want to do an interview, you know, about, and I already know who he is. I've been a fan of him. So I'm like, shit, for sure. So I did it, recorded and put up on my YouTube, and that was the very beginning of the whole YouTube thing, was him, you know, doing an interview with him. And then after that, I was doing like battle rap reviews, and then I ended up just start doing what I'm doing now, because I stopped really, everybody in battle rap ended up started becoming redundant to me. And then I started seeing how it seemed like the URL, in my opinion, was being more biased towards the East Coast rappers and you know, people from out of state. Yeah, underdog. Yeah, that's what you know, I don't know why, you know, because I know at one point in time the Bay was trying to do the unity thing and come together, and I guess he was against it. Like from little interviews I would see from him, he would say, you know, he felt like the unity thing between the thing, you know, was you know, fake or whatever. I know he was getting it with Too Short. He got a problem with Jay Diggs. He was having a problem with everybody. For a minute, in my mind, Messy Marv's sound of his music was the epitome of what the Bay sounded like. Even when everybody else started trying to do down south type of beats and different shit like that, it seemed like he kept. But then, you know, I don't know really what happened. Some people say really not from. I've been hearing a lot of people say that they don't think Messy Marv really locked up. I wonder why people keep saying that. Like, he's supposed to be locked up down there. When we just talked the other day, he's supposed to be. Matter of fact, hold on, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let these police kill me, but I'm gonna let y'all hear. I'm gonna let y'all hear right now when he called me, because of course it records. But give me a quick second. The police gonna kill me, so don't trip off of me just sitting up here getting shot and shit. But he was saying that he was down for like down for a year. You said this the right one. Hold on. Tell me if y'all can hear this clearly.
Welcome to Miami.
No, that ain't it. Hold on. Hold on for 1 second. Tell me if y'all can hear this though.
Welcome to Miami Beach.
Damn, that ain't the right one. What? I know I didn't erase it. Don't tell me I erased that.
Actually did it.
I'm gonna have to look through my files to find exactly when he had ended up calling back. Damn, that's some fucked up shit. But yeah, he ended up, he was like he down for 2. He on the chain gang in Texas, but he was actually asking me, you know, because he just made him an official YouTube account. He was trying to ask me how could he get his YouTube, you know, pumping, the behind the scenes of how the analytics and all that stuff work. Because when me and him first chopped it up a long time ago, around that time with the Reno stuff, you know, I was trying to put him on this artist named Cash Doll from Detroit. You know what I mean? This is before she blew up, when she first had that first song out, and he was trying to plug with her. So I guess he remembered that, and he was like, dog, you know, you a real nigga. You was trying to put me on some business back then. I'll never forget. So anytime you want to do an interview, blah, blah, blah. Salute, Don. I appreciate that. But yeah, whatever questions y'all got, man, I'm if I can read them, if they don't come through too fast, I'll answer them for you. But yeah, whenever I can actually get Messy back on the phone, we gonna go ahead and do the interview. So if there's certain questions y'all wanna know, let me know, and I'll ask them. Fuck all this sensitive shit, these rap niggas. That's real. And when we talking for the Sylvester dude, for the bigger scheme of things, now we talking about just hip hop, but we talking about just for the bigger scheme of things in this world, period. Yes, the things that these hip hop artists doing is a small percentage of what's important to life, period. There's so much shit going on in the world. America, we beefing with multiple different countries, all type of countries. All, to me, in my mind, I've been saying this for damn near a decade, all it really takes is for 1 or 2 countries like Russia and South Korea to actually team up. America been bullying the rest of the world for so long, man. The rest of the world is getting tired of us. The rest of the world look at us like we're terrorists, for real. And they waiting for a situation to be able to get us up out of that position of muscle, for real. You know what I mean? I hope it don't happen in my lifetime or my kids' lifetime, but as far as what you were saying, you know, that's kind of separate, because a lot of people ask me, you know, why I don't talk about more political stuff. 98% of the people on my channel came here for hip-hop stuff. Not saying that people not smart enough to know about other stuff that's going on in the world, but really, for real, in the past 2-3 weeks, maybe even a month, YouTube and cracked down on so much stuff where they don't, it's just crazy. They try not to get people to do anything that's controversial, dealing with war, gay stuff, any of that stuff, or you won't be able to monetize and make no money off of it, or they'll take down your videos, because so many independent bloggers, you know, like CNN and Fox, they create a narrative, you know what I'm saying, to feed to the masses, to keep people blind. They don't like independent bloggers that's giving the real out here, so I feel like they trying to shut all that shit down. So that's why, like, I got a homie from Chicago that's really, I'm gonna answer your question in a minute, Don, but once I'm gonna get back to about the 40. But I got a homie from Chicago. I've been trying to get him to stop bullshitting and open up a YouTube channel, because he more into the political lane. He more deep into the Israelite stuff, and he perfect for that. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason he won't do it. He be BSing. You know what I mean? It's like people don't. I don't know. You know what I mean? That's my nigga. I love him to death, so I ain't gonna talk shit about him. But he just been bullshitting. And every time I talk to him, he say, "Oh man, I wish I would have did it. I wish I would have did it. You know, started when you started, but it ain't never too late." But as far as them shoes, I'm not buying them shoes. I don't give a fuck if they was $2, them shoes to me, them big baller shoes to me are ugly, and they putting a price tag on them just for people that just got the money to be like, oh, I'm gonna buy them just because they cost a lot. A lot of people ain't gonna have them. But if I buy a shoe, I don't care if they $40 or if they $800 and they at Saks Fifth or something like that. If I don't like the shoe, I'm not gonna buy it. Hell no, D-boy, they don't want people aware. Appreciate the love, homie. Yeah, them shoes ugly as hell, man. Like, they ugly to me. There's no, I don't care. Like, I don't care if I went into Sears or Kmart and they was in there. I'm not buying them because how they just ugly to me. I'm not about to buy no shoe like that. You know what I mean? And you got his father walking around trying to make people feel like, oh, if you don't buy them, it's just because you can't afford them. That ain't the reason. The shoes ugly and they overpriced. And dude, what has his son really accomplished for people to even be paying that much money for them shoes? For real. And that's just my question. You said, right, they call channels like you fake news. Right, yeah. See, my thing is, with my channel is like, I take a headline. For the people, I could tell the difference between a lot of motherfuckers like D-Boy and Don and a lot of other people, Leslie. It's a lot of other people that be in the comment section. I can tell when y'all listen to my videos, y'all can read between the lines of what I'm really saying. Like I tell people all the time, it's a method to my madness. I take a headline. My whole sole purpose from the beginning is to take a headline that I know that people is going to be searching for and click it. And I'll briefly talk about that headline, but I'll give my opinion on that headline because I want to put a different type of perspective out there. For so long, I was watching different individuals, and it ain't just one person, but just different individuals that give their perspective on the same type of subjects. And I'm like, I don't think that type of perspective really resonate with motherfuckers that come from a certain area in this world. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't just grow up in a third world, like the worst fucking place, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, my parents got divorced when I was, what, second, third grade, but you know, they end up getting back together, whatever, you know what I mean? I feel like they did what they could try to do to make sure they instilled the right morals and principles in me, because they knew the environment of growing up in and around Detroit, shit like that, what you're gonna be faced with. And I just feel like it's more motherfuckers that grew up in those type of situations that want to hear maybe my perspective, regardless if they agree or if they disagree. So it's like, I just be wanting to put my perspective out there, you know, and maybe if a younger nigga that got an old soul, or a younger dude that maybe, you know, want to hear a little wisdom dropped here and there in those videos, real niggas can read between the lines and really peep the shit that I be saying in my videos. That's why I don't be understanding why some people be trying to say, oh, I'm instigating the beef or this and that. By at the end of the day, I don't think nobody should take any of my videos and think that I'm trying to instigate a beef when I'll be talking about the Troy Ave shit, or when I'm talking about Whack 100 and all them. All that shit stupid. King Cassius, it's been slowly doing what it do. It ain't all the way back. It ain't all the way back like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? But it's slowly. I think they still fixing. I think they still trying to fix the problem. The problem is that YouTube went into a panic. YouTube went into a panic when the advertisers had a boycott. So they just totally got down on their knees for the advertisers, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they gotta respect the content creators, because we're the ones that's bringing in the money to YouTube. Period. If they don't have the content, so they gotta make sure that we straight too. They can't just totally kiss the advertiser ass. I understand the business part, but they gotta make sure that we good too. But I'm gonna tell you like this, one thing for sure. Some billionaire or some millionaire or maybe some young person that got technology as like second nature to him, someone out here need to be trying to find to become a competitor to YouTube. For real, YouTube needs a competitor. You know what I mean? They need another platform out here where people can monetize and put their stuff on there, where people can make money and all that stuff. But long as YouTube is the only brand, you know, platform out here like this, of this size, you know, they can just do what they want to do. For real, I encourage people. That's when people come to me and ask me questions about starting a YouTube channel, as long as they not about to be in direct competition with me, or because my thing, another person, they can open up a channel and do commentator stuff. We all gonna have different personalities and different perspectives, so it's not like I look at anybody as competition. I'm like, my thing is, if you, I'm gonna keep it real with you, and I hate to just always make stuff about race, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. If you go out of the urban demographic of YouTube and start looking in different ethnicities to do commentaries on things that's important in their life and their culture and stuff, a lot of them, what up though, MZA, a lot of them team up together on content. They do videos together, they do stuff together to make money. For real. They team up together. It's only in the black community we always gotta feel like we in competition with each other. We always feel like you gotta hate on the next man, or only one person can do it, and it's dumb. And that mentality is what hold us back. I swear to God, and I'm not gonna call out no names, but it's other motherfuckers that's from my city. They don't even 100% do the same thing that I do. But I sit back on social media and watch the little slick shit that people be saying. Now, I don't know if it's just because I chose not to solely focus my platform on the city. And I'm gonna just keep it like this for the people that come back and watch this video. I'm gonna give people a little piece of the game of how I feel like I wanna, because I have had people ask me like, damn, but you don't love Detroit, you don't love your own city. See, it's not that. I don't feel like I'm big enough to help an artist from Detroit yet. When I was smaller, I tried to reach out to artists and try to do interviews and shit. People ignore you. You will see them open up the message, they ignore you, or they, you know how, anybody on here that's from Detroit, anybody that's on here from Detroit know the Detroit mentality. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers will try to play you like you ain't shit, this and that, whatever. Well, I ain't about to kiss no nigga ass. If you want to do an interview or not, you know, motherfuckers didn't want to do it. But then as I started getting bigger, some of these same individuals started trying to come back and want to do interviews, or they want to make it seem like you owe the city something because I done got bigger. One, I don't owe nobody nothing that didn't help me get to where I was at. But I'm willing to do fair business as long as there's some respect there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people just don't understand the concept of respect. But let me ask some of y'all. Somebody just asked me a question and I missed it. Yeah, Don. I'm talking to y'all. I should have killed them police. But how did y'all feel about them interviews that I just did? But I'm about to let it loose. I need to get some ammo. Damn. Yeah, I do YouTube. I'm at the Cassius. The thing is, I think I have seen your channel before because I remember your name outside of just being in the comments. I think I have messed with your channel before. Yup, D-boy, you already know how it is, dog. Like, it's ridiculous. And besides, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Besides, yeah, it's a lot of fake. It's fake people and real people everywhere, in every city, every state, every county, every country. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the Detroit mentality is what's the reason why it has stopped Detroit from making it inside of the rap industry for so long. And people got to get out of that mindset. And it's hard, and it takes a transition, you know, and people got to, you know, people just need some real business-minded individuals around them, like real management and stuff like that around them. You know, and but I just try not to get caught up in all that. But I feel like once I get to about 100,000 subscribers and 150,000 subscribers, then I'll probably start doing a little bit more, you know, for the, I'll start doing a little bit more for artists at the city. But right now, I don't think that I'll really be able to help for real. But yeah, Detroit versus everybody for real. That's always been the motivation. I feel like that for the longest. You know, it's enough, but you got to get people that's really about that movement, and it's not just for personal, selfish reasons why people shout in Detroit. You know, people only come to, not saying you, homeboy, but a lot of people yell that out. Only time that they come up to you and say that is because they need you for something. But when they don't need you for something, it ain't Detroit versus everybody. You feel me? God damn. But yeah. But what inspired you to get into the blogging spectrum? With Slim, honestly, I had just said it. One, the dude Messy Marv, I did an interview with him. I would used to just be on my Twitter and just post music that I like. And then the dude Messy Marv went through a situation where he got into a physical altercation in Reno, and I guess he thought I was already a blog, and he reached out to me and was like, hey, you want to do an interview? So I was like, yeah. So I went ahead and did the interview, and that was what made me have to start the channel. I didn't even have a channel or nothing. I had to start the channel, come up with some questions and interview him, because I was a fan of him. So, but I wanted to hear his side of the story. So, and that's what got me into blogging. But after that, I was putting music on my page that I like. I didn't know the politics of YouTube, that, you know, you couldn't put copyrighted music up. I would just put music on my page, and I was deep into, you know, this was battle rap when Calico and all them was battling, like some years ago when it was like, so I used to do, you know, reviews for battle rap, but then battle rap started getting watered down to me, and I started feeling like URL was a little bit biased towards certain people. So then I'm like, it got to the point where I stopped blogging, and then people was leaving comments under my videos like, dog, we still want to hear your perspective. So I was like, okay, shit. Then I just started doing these type of blogs, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like, now I'm just reaching like-minded individuals, so, you know, it was all good. No, that beat that's at the very beginning, I see a lot of people ask that beat, my homeboy remade that beat. It's from Nipsey. It's Nipsey Hussle, a Nipsey Hussle song called Down as the Great. Down as the Great by Nipsey Hussle. My homeboy, I let him hear it. I'm like, dog, I love this song. Plus it's a subliminal as well, saying I want to go down as the great in what I'm doing, but I love the song and that beat. So I asked him to remake it for me so it wouldn't be a copyright thing, and then I end up using it as my intro and outro. What do I think about was crying? See, I don't know. See, that's the thing, you know, him going through the situation, this about Messy Marv, him going through that situation and getting locked up. You know, before that, a lot of music-wise, he talented, and I love the sound that he was putting out. Big shout out to Anthony Danza. He from Seattle. He was one of Messy Marv's producers or whatever. Some of the beats y'all hear in the background of my videos, he make those. But I don't know, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people say once he got to messing with whatever drugs or whatever, they felt like that was affecting him. But I think he was doing whatever he was doing before then and still making good music. I just don't know personally, and that's something I want to ask him. You know, was it him that turned his back on the city, or was it the city that turned his back on him? Now, somebody else asked me a question, what do I think about the Tupac, something about Tupac. Do you notice similarities in Messy Marv and 40 Glocc situation? As far as what? What you mean as far as what? Oh, saying, see, that's the thing. I've been hearing a ton of people on my Instagram and stuff been saying they heard that he not locked up. They heard that he not locked up. That's the thing. Shit, to be honest with you, I don't know. All I can go is by his Instagram, and then when I just talked to him, he said he was locked up. Salute, all my salute. What do you feel about that bitch nigga Flex? Man, for real, Fun Flex, I feel like once you get to this age, once you get into your 30s and 40s, period, and regardless to whatever industry you're in, you need to be focused on creating a legacy and creating something that's going to be able to feed your next generation and your kids. And the shit that Funk Flex is doing is like, it's tarnishing his legacy. And it seemed like, to talk about someone that's been dead for 20 years, it's like, damn, did this nigga fuck your bitch? What did he really do that make you 20 years later still feel this type of way? Now his excuse is, oh, his lies killed Pac. Now who's to say if what Whack 100 was saying is true, that someone from Harlem is really the, you know, really the boys that put the bag on his head and got him up out of here? Who's to say? But my thing is, at the end of the day, is no excuse for why right now you hating on a man that died 20 years ago. Point blank period. It's no excuse for it. And to me, it's just sucker shit. Any person that talks dead, it's motherfuckers that I used to beef with that's dead that you won't hear me kicking dirt on their name. They dead, hey, fucking move on. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to keep talking shit. Do I think the movie about Tupac could be good? I don't know. It depends on what introspective they try to put into that video about Tupac. I don't want them to try to make Tupac look like a hero. I want to just see the real about him. I want them to mix the revolutionary, you know, everything in there. Him, you know, with his mom going through that situation. I don't know how far back they're going to go in his... Because even though he was only alive for 25 years, he got a lot accomplished in those 25 years. So that's... If it's only an hour and a half movie, how much can you really put into that? That's just like with the NWA movie. It was like... It was so much more that can go into it. It's like, I don't know if it should go into the movie theaters or Tupac should have been something that should go on Netflix where they can have multiple shows to cover every chapter of his life and you can really get, you know, the full feel of old boy. You know what I'm saying? Wack is saying to garner attention, yeah. But my thing is, okay, at some point in age, what is it? Is attention giving him a check? That's what I don't understand. If attention not bringing him in a check at this age, what is he just doing it for? Just to get attention? Like, what is attention going to do? Attention not bring... Like, it'd be different if he was trying to bring in attention because there's something else that he wants to bring to the table. He talking all this shit because then the game has got an album coming out, so he trying to get a lot of people to start chiming in on his I'm about to die. Start chiming in on his Instagram and all that stuff. But if that's not the case, it's like you talking shit just to be talking shit. Like the other day, he put up a picture of trying to clown Tupac because he had like a little curly high top fade and talking about hashtag gangster. I'm like, you know how contradicting that is? And this is no diss to the West Coast, period, when I say this. But anybody from the West Coast know S-curls and all that shit is a part of y'all culture back in the day. So how he gonna try to dog Tupac for having an S-curl on his head when you had stone cold killers in California that wore S-curls in California. So it's like, dog, when you talking just to be talking. And like I say, I don't really know all the West Coast dudes. They getting on Funk Flex. I don't know. It makes me really wonder. I wonder, do Wack really got the power or some plug like that? Because all these people on the West Coast that's calling out Funk Flex, why they not really saying? I only heard Mac Minister say something about Wack 100. I ain't heard nobody that, and Mac Minister locked up, but I ain't heard shit about that. No one's free saying nothing about Wack. So I don't know. You say aggregate propaganda, yo, that's real. So real shit. So you from the West Coast, so that's not even a diss. That's just real shit. Like when I first, man, back in the day when I used to listen to MCA, Spice One, Drew Down, all them dudes, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not gonna say that Brother Lynch hung or nothing, but back in the day when I was listening to all that music, tons of, when the world was introduced to the West Coast through colors and all that stuff back in the day, motherfuckers had curls in their head. That was just a part of the culture. Yeah. Do Mac pay for day life, or Mac Minister got an opportunity to get out of jail? But at the end of the day, you know what I mean, my thing is, regardless, for whatever the reason why, regardless to everyone, damn, yo, hey dude, the dude that just said something about Chicago and Detroit and Eazy-E, your comment went by fast as hell. I ain't see it. But regardless to all this shit that Tupac, that Wack 100 and Funk Flex is saying, they gotta think, once this movie come and go and 8 months go by and no one talking about the Tupac movie no more, people that truly love Tupac always gonna remember the shit Funk Flex and Wack 100 said. Once you put it out there in this world, it's never gonna go away. So they can be doing it to be trying to gain some attention, popularity, whatever their purpose is, and they think maybe they're gonna get a little check to promote the movie. At the end of the day, them words they put out into this world is never gonna go away, and people are always gonna remember it. But bro, let me tell you something. Certain cities in the state would not show movies like that. Yeah, that's real. That's real. You say Funk Flex is pathological liar. Hey Dave, where you from? You from New York? Hey, tell me why you say you think he a pathological liar. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm just wondering why you say he a pathological liar. But somebody had just left a comment, but no, from Oakland. Oh, okay. Someone had left a comment and said something about Chicago and Detroit and this and that. The NWA movie didn't show a certain thing. Oh yeah, yeah, that's real. They feel like it's going to incite some type of riot or something because they just feel like this type of movie is going to gather too many niggas in one situation, so they don't want to show it. It's like, come on, man, we got to get past all this bullshit, man. Most theaters that get shot up don't be by black motherfuckers shooting up the theater, man. For real, for real. You might have different. I mean, you know, growing up, I done been to movies where some BS might happen outside, but that's normally because two people from two different hoods that already got beefed and fucked around and ran into each other out there, and something might happen in the parking lot, but it don't normally be directly because of the movie that you watching. It'd be different if it's like if another movie like Colors came out and you bring in a whole bunch of Crips and Bloods and GDs and Blackstones and Foes and all that to the same movie theater, yeah, but this is a Tupac movie or a movie about rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain places just still to this day don't respect the rap game, regardless that it's $1 billion corporation. We all 30, 40, 60 now, yeah. Do I think Suge will ever get out? To be honest with you, that's what I'm saying, man. I don't know. I think the police and everybody out there for so many years been wanting to get Suge like how they did Al Capone. They couldn't really get him on nothing, and they got him on some tax evasion. I really think they're gonna take this situation now that they finally got some cuffs on him to try to keep him in there. But Whack 100. And who's to say if this nigga, because he put everything on Pyru and lies, so who's to say if he telling the truth or not? But he just said he got the life rights to Suge Knight, and Suge Knight supposed to be getting out in 90 days. So who know if that shit even true? Niggas will die when Tupac movie come out. Who know? Damn, I didn't even know the police is still on me. But too many interpretations of Tupac been made, yeah. Like, man, there's so many different things that's been said about this documentaries, the murder. Well, what's the name of that? The murder rap, all different type. You got all these different people. This bodyguard then came out and said that this bodyguard then came out and said that this police officer, this former police officer. Everybody finding a way to cash in and write a book. Because the way America is, you can write a whole book about some fake shit and sell it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody just cashing in on the whole Tupac because that's how relevant he is still this day 20 years later, and he purposely knew before he died. That's why he said it. He purposely said his name, and this my thing. It's just the thought process behind it. Say for instance, even if you have French Montana right now, if French Montana chose to name one of his albums Machiavelli, and then he got killed shortly after that, and people then did the research of what Machiavelli really is, and like, oh, it's someone that faked their death, it's automatically gonna put the thought process out there. Oh, I wonder, did he fake his death because he named himself? Pac purposely did that. He already knew his time was coming to an end because he was fucking with, regardless if they call Jimmy Henchman and all them rats or snitches or whatever. I ain't trying to get no props or not condoning snitching and shit like that. But you got some niggas that snitches out here that's some killers. You got niggas that snitches out here that's, I'm gonna keep it one time, and I don't really normally talk about this, and I don't glorify it at all. This was back in my little heyday, a little bit younger. I remember I was locked up, and this dude came in the set in the pod. When he came in, everybody was like, man, don't fuck with that nigga for real. For a dude to snitch like a motherfucker. Like that night before we ate, everybody was like, you know, kind of just, he could tell people was staying away from him, so he came and sat down at the table. He was like, man, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. He was like, nigga, I snitch on everybody. He was like, every time I come to jail, because it's a nigga that snitch on me because he was selling, hustling or whatever. He was like, every time I get locked up, it's because someone snitched on one of my spots and got it raided, and I was in there. And he was like, I know where it's coming from. So he was like, I snitch right back on them niggas to get out. I'm like, God damn. I ain't never heard a snitch just motherfucking admit that shit like that. I didn't know to say if the nigga was right or wrong or not. So they snitched. Yeah, they were just snitching back and forth on each other. Omar, look, yeah, for real. Shit, you got a nigga that's waking up, that's a stone cold killer, stone cold gangbanger, wake up, don't know nothing but creasing his khakis and folding his rag and putting it behind his pocket and got motherfucking the FBI on speed dial. You know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays the game so some of the biggest ballers in these cities, some of them niggas be snitches. You be wondering like, how this nigga, he didn't got arrested 10 times. You know this nigga got arrested. Okay, the first time he got arrested. Okay, maybe he got probation. All right, maybe. Okay, you got probation. Then you got arrested again while you was on probation. So that's supposed to be a violation. So now they just extended your probation. Like, oh, that's still fishy, but okay, we just gonna get. Now you done got arrested again, then caught with a gun. This time, like, no, nigga, you talking, you doing something, and this is the reason why you still out there. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times they use some of these dudes, the work that they confiscate from certain people, they you know, give some of these dudes work and got them out here presenting themselves as bosses and got everybody like, oh, this is the plug, but he really the fucking police, and they just baiting people in to come in to see who's gonna start spending all real money with them and then take down that whole little clique of motherfuckers. Hold on, right, Ella. Nigga. Right, for real, D-boy, for real, for real. Yeah, the shit crazy. Man, the game's so crazy, dog. That's why I don't advise that life for anybody that don't have to do it. If they got other opportunities in life to get an education, or they just naturally got business smarts and got a little money put up from their family to open up a business. Right now with the world being into technology, you can formulate you an app, you can do your blog, you can do your website, you can get you a printing press, make you some clothes, start off selling on Facebook, and then it's so many different avenues in this world to make money other than selling drugs. And just the easiest thing for people to do, to really not have to put no brain power in it. And it's the easiest way to get, you know, the females come with the fast money, so dudes choose to do it. But it's a lot of different ways out here to get money besides, you know, hustling. You know, I don't knock it. People got to do what they got to do, but at the same time, it's like, you know, if you let that be like your plan G or plan Z. Don't make that your first option soon as you think about getting money. I'm about to go sell drugs, like, because you don't want to end up putting yourself in a position where this is the only thing you can do for the rest of your life is hustle, because you done got so many F's on your report card. Like, if people don't know what I mean by F's on your report card, get so many felonies on your rap sheet. Now you got so many felonies, now you can't do nothing else but hustle because you can't get a job nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? So dang, I missed that person as soon as we got online. As soon as I logged in, it was a girl that did that super chat and donate $5. I can't think of what's her name, but if she's still on here, shout out to you. I can't remember the name, but it happened so fast. But for real, man, like, it'd be crazy that, you know, a lot of us within our community, somebody said if you selling, you a voluntary agent. You got to break that down to me, because just reading what you're saying, you need to know TV, I wouldn't be able to, but you probably have to break that down to me. You need to know TV for me to understand what you mean by that. Because I know a lot of people that's hustling and shit, and they not nowhere near agents, fuck with the police or nothing. People in Detroit down there hustling is almost like a legal business. Like, people don't think it's nothing wrong with it. It's like, it's second nature. It's like nothing wrong with it, you know what I'm saying? It's second nature. Yo, is Tupac alive? He put that myth out there about naming himself Machiavelli, and they say he might be down there. But man, as far as the evidence and stuff that's out, that nigga Tupac dead in the motherfucking been dead. What's going on with Tax? I don't know. It's like little sparks, little bitty segments about Tax Stone pop up and down, pop up and down. Damn, this nigga trying to swing and hit me. I don't know. The last thing I heard about Tax was his attorney writing something to the judge. You know, I guess trying to, since he got a bail, but then they, you know, basically just still not out, and they wondering why, you know, Trey Ave out and he can't get out, and they feel like he more of a menace to society. But I think what's really holding Tax down is just his prior rap sheet. Once you go to jail on a charge like that, what he facing right now, and you already got a whole bunch of violent charges on your report card already, they're not gonna be really trying to let you out. And he in New York, and he got a name. They're not about to try to let him out of there. No, hell no, I don't think if Pac was alive, he'd still be cool with Suge. Pac was in a desperate situation when he signed that contract in jail on a napkin. He was in a desperate situation to just get up out of jail. But as smart as Pac was, I think he ended up seeing him signing that piece of paper was basically like signing himself over to the devil. And he just knew, like, I'm probably not going to make it out of this situation alive. And I think that's the reason why he just started saying whatever, because he knew, and started working that hard to put out that much music so he could have that live on, because he knew he wasn't going to live on. Yeah, Detroit, we know. For, yeah. What do you think about, do I think about mumble rap? Mumble rap, to me, it's good for different, you know what I mean, different moods calls for different stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be in the club listening to Nas, so, and that ain't no shot at Nas, you know what I mean, and that's just the name. Most people would, I ain't gonna say most people, but you know, you get what I'm saying. Like, it's different moods for different shit. Like, when I'm in the house, it just, answer your question, man, mumble rap is good for the use for it is. If you want to party, go to the club, and maybe you just popping pills and drinking, or just want to have fun or whatever, or just want to have something because you got some 15s in your trunk and you just want to have some shit pounding, yeah. But if you really the type of person that's a thinker, you know what I mean, and I ain't saying that you got to be listening to some astronomical, super lyrical, miracle shit just because you a thinker, but if you are a thinker, you know what I'm saying, you kind of want to hear some music that got some content that maybe can really relate to your life. Mumble rap to me don't fit into nothing that play in my day-to-day life, so it really don't fit nowhere in my playlist unless I'm going to the club, or I just, cause I got, you know, unless I just want to put something in my car cause I want to hear it bang, you know what I'm saying? Why do you think old rappers hate it? To be honest with you, man, it's just the same generational thing, man. The old rappers that's quote unquote hating on young rappers, those old rappers were getting it when they were young rappers. It's just a cycle. People will just start noticing almost every 15 to 20 years, everything started recycling itself. You know, afros come back, bell bottoms come back, tie-dyes come back, you know what I mean? Certain shit just recycles itself over and over again, and certain behavior recycles itself. So it's like, say for instance, like if you're talking about Joe Budden, and people say Joe Budden be hating on young people, whatever. When Joe Budden was coming up, the older people above him didn't feel like his music was real music. So it just happens. So it's like you just gotta listen to what fits you. Yeah, I don't. What do you think about today's rappers wearing women clothes? Now that shit is just crazy, JC. Like, to me, it's just no excuse for it. I don't give a fuck. Oh, that shirt cost me $24 million. I don't give a fuck how much that shirt costs you, dog. Like, are you dressing yourself, or are you allowing a stylist to dress you, or are you just that doped up where you just don't care? Like, most of the times when you see a crackhead and shit on the streets, they normally just don't care about their appearance, right? Can we equally agree on that? Most people that's strung out or addicted to something, most of the time don't care about their appearance. So it's like, dog, wearing dresses is just, I don't know if this is a part of behind the scenes of what they telling them that they gotta do to make it by feminizing themselves. You know, it's ridiculous. I don't know if these dudes just didn't grow up with no male figures in their life at all, so maybe that's all they know is seeing how women dress, and now that they so messed up on all these drugs that they got so readily available to them, maybe in their inner selves is really lightweight gay. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Don. Shit, that little Uzi was wearing, man, it ain't no excuse for that. People always try to bring up money as an excuse for something. Dog, money ain't an excuse for everything. What do you think about Press Spray by Troy Ave? You know, him going over a classic ass beat like that, to me, I hold a person to a real high regard to go over a real classic beat like that. But, you know, he did his thing on there. I feel like he got his point across. He just still constantly talking shit. He just, you know, if I was to give out of 5 stars, I'll give it like a 3.5. Just because that's so much of a classic song, I can't give a person a 5 out of 5 on that, because it's hard to top the original song. But it's not trash to me. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, Mike. I heard Michael Jordan got stock in prisons and shit. Damn, somebody just said something about Cheddar Boys and Rock Bottom. Come back with that question again. I didn't see that about Jay-Z and Rock Bottom. I missed that question. But yeah, I've heard before that Michael Jordan got stock in prisons and stuff. That's why I think about it. He's selling drugs. He's selling shoes to the dope dealers, and he's selling shoes at a high price. We're making, not saying that he's forcing anybody to go out here and sell drugs to buy Jordans, but it's one big cycle. It's one big cycle. Them same motherfuckers out here hustling to buy Jordans is them same motherfuckers that sitting their ass in jail. What do you think about Troy Ave calling himself Tupac? New Pac? I don't care how many pictures that they can align next to each other saying that, yeah, you got certain comparisons, you know what I'm saying, to a person. Just be yourself. Don't be Tupac, the new Pac, or none of that. Just be yourself. Go down in history being your own self, so someone would want to compare themselves to Troy Ave. I'm not saying he dick sucking a nigga or nothing like that, but at the same time, to me, like, dog, just be yourself. You can't fill that man's shoes. Think about it. Pac died at 25 and people trying to be Tupac. Troy Ave, people don't think it because he look younger. Troy Ave is really like 30, 31 years old, man. Troy Ave is not no young nigga. When he was up there on the freshman cover, he had a good 6-7 year age difference than most of them dudes up there on the freshman cover when he was up there. Like, Troy Ave is not a young nigga for real. Now, Little Boosie has, to me, out of them two, I could, and I ain't saying giving him a pass, but more relatable really with Boosie. I feel Boosie doing it more in a respectful way than Troy. Just in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Like, but hey, that's the lane you want to go down. I think just create your own legacy, do your own thing. I just never really understood, because a lot of people was trying to say, see, I have my mixed opinions about Troy Ave in different situations. Damn, I missed it again. Like T Grizzly, Icewear, Vezo, Offspring, and the old D-Boy. Yeah, basically, to answer that, because it popped up on the screen again, everything that's popping now, and if a motherfucker really know the Detroit rap scene, is basically the descendants of the Street Lords and the East Side Cheddar Boys. For anybody that's on here that's not from Detroit and but listen to Detroit music now, you really have to go back and do your history of the Street Lords, Icewear, Vezo, meaning the Street Lords, Blade, Juan, Jesse James back out. He got this song called The Police out right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. The Eastside Cheddar Boys is just, that's basically to me. And if you see, think about it, for the dude that asked me that question, think about Payroll and the whole Doughboys Cash Out. And when I say they big homie, I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way, but who's they big homie that be in a lot of their videos? Cash Out, right? Cash Out was a part of the Street Lords. So basically, you see what I'm saying? It's really a direct connection to all these cliques directly from them older cliques. Hell yeah, rest in peace, Blade. For real, for real. Yeah, Boosie is a Southern King. He is. He is staple. He really is staple in this game. You know what I'm saying? And he earned his respect. I believe Suge Knight held Tupac. Yeah, to me, that you already know that situation, it had to be some snipers and some sharp shooters in that situation. You take the average dude in the hood, go right now. If you in the hood right now, go outside and get 10 of the most gangster niggas that's in your hood right now, and think that they gonna be able to shoot up a whole car and only hit one person and not and just barely graze the other one. It's not gonna happen. They gonna be hitting kids that's 2 blocks away. They gonna be hitting stop signs. They gonna be hitting the fucking deers, all type of shit, trying to shoot sideways like they motherfucking Don't Be a Menace or whatever. It gotta be some snipers and some, you know what I'm saying, some real motherfuckers that hit up Tupac like that, not to hit Suge. And I don't believe in coincidences, so I don't believe that it was just God's grace that Suge just didn't get hit that night. Hell no. Sibo a motherfucker. I'm glad you said that, because I always be, when I be trying to show my love to the West Coast, people that see my channel, man, I try to show a lot of love to the West. People know Detroit motherfuckers rock with the West Coast tough. KDZ is a Detroit legend, man. For real, I wish DZ, I don't know what it is. I think DZ need to get him a group, find him some young talented dudes like how Cash Out kind of did with the Doughboys, and then find himself a way, because DZ is a motherfucking legend. He still be rocking the summer jams off his older songs that's still hard as hell to this day. Like if they came out now, they'd be hard. I don't know who that troll is. Somebody that just wanted attention. You know, somebody making them miss Nightbot. Someone that probably feel better about life. Hey, Miss Nightbot, you feel better about yourself? Nightbot, he probably feel better about himself since someone gave him a shout out, you know what I mean? But anybody that, you know what I'm saying, I don't know how many people in here go find, man, I can go to the crib. I mean, I got so many, I ain't gonna say I got a ton of cars, but I sold a lot of cars to get my money back up. I had damn near went broke on this game, dog. The shit was crazy. But anybody that know Detroit music, man, that's why they say we got a large similarity to the Bay. Detroit and the Bay is like cousin cities, man. Like we really mess with each other tough. It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. The reason why Detroit and the Bay sound alike, you know what I mean? You say them green guys isn't linking up with Doughboys. I wish they'd just, unless behind the scenes some blood was shed, that eventually, and I understand people got their pride and all that stuff, but I wish they'd just go ahead and leave it alone before something end up seriously happening, just for the greater good, just for the safety of everybody. But you know, everybody got their pride, and they, you know, they gonna represent their cliques and all that stuff, so I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. Alright, yeah, I'm about to I'm headed there now. Shit, if I can get there, the motherfucking police on my ass. But yeah, what's going on with Sibo? Oh yeah, that Bow Wow challenge, dog. He tried to go and then gonna go on Hot 97, still playing with our intelligence. Like we just stupid, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you gotta watch the show, you gotta watch the show. Like people are just really that stupid.
What do you need exactly? Can't handle the heat, my friend? Okay, leave it with creepy Uncle Lester.
What up, though? What's good, lab? What's going on? Is a D still a no-fly zone? I don't think it's as harshly as enforced as it was, because to be honest with you, to me, people really got to give a lot of props to Trick, because even though a lot of people was against that no-fly zone, think about how many people that then got signed since then from Detroit. A lot of artists then got signed since then. A lot of rappers started really on the low, checking in and start messing with other rappers and all that stuff. They got a lot of backlash because of it, but it did really help a lot of artists, because a lot of people started getting signed after that. The industry, because it's a big money thing to the industry. They like, man, we can't be sending our artists to Detroit and they going through these problems. And it was basically just a respect thing at the end of the day. Shout out Armando, what up though? What's good? Big shout out to VA. It was more just a respect thing. Like, y'all not about to just keep disrespecting and looking over Detroit like we don't have no talent here. And now people slowly starting to see that it is hella talent in Detroit. It is talent here. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. 99.9% of the time, if an artist from Detroit pop, he really about or was about the shit that he was rapping about, because Detroit is not gonna stand behind no artist. You know how you got some cities that stand behind the artist just because he can rap and make good beats, but he fake as hell. Detroit not one of them places. Like, if you not really, if you damn near gotta, for 2 years, you damn near gotta show the streets you really about what you about before niggas even start listening to your music. Damn, did I hear about something with D-Block? What, with Trick and D-Block? If that's the question you asked me, yeah, I did a video about that. Yep, because they went on the Breakfast Club and was talking about what happened to that. Yep, rest in peace to Proof. He was a real one. Smitty, robbery ain't to battle rap, but I fuck with Calico tough and clean paper. Some of my cars are destroyed because it's supposed to be like 2 more cars right here and here. But yeah. But during them clean paper, Calico, like during that time in battle rap, when they was battle rapping, I was listening. That's when I was really tuned in. Even when them Harlem dudes was going hard, you know what I'm saying, all that. I just started noticing. I remember one time I even sent Calico like an email. It was either before the Loaded Lux or right after it, but I think it was before the Loaded Lux one. Like, dog, I'm telling you, I sent them an email telling them, like, dog, URL is going to set this up, and it's no disrespect to the East Coast, it ain't shit up in here, but if you look at the map, I have to go outside, but if you look at the map, I got like 5 different houses and stuff, they all full of cars. I'll take time one day to go through all that shit, but the URL, it would be bad for URL business if the #1 battle rappers wasn't from New York. That means they would have to brand their whole brand out of a whole nother state. So in some type of way, they gotta keep the #1 rappers either in New York, from New York, or from the East Coast, or that would make them have to shift where their main location is at. Oh, salute, man. I appreciate that, dog. Yeah, that's real. All mine, that's real, man. Anybody that speak on someone dead, like, I'm talking about even your enemy, like, once they dead, they dead. It ain't no reason to motherfucking keep talking bad about a motherfucker. But Calico, man, Calico is the truth. People couldn't get his style, though, just because his flow pattern was not like of a New York dude. So, but he came in there, man, he ran through Mav Hoffa. That's Mav Hoffa and Calico battle is still one of the best battles I've seen. Even when he went had a battle against Arsenal on the UW, he did his thing on there. Like, Calico was running through dudes on there, and they purposely set it up for. Now I want to ask y'all this: if y'all in the battle rap, if you go back to the Calico and Loaded Lux battle rap today, who do you think really won that battle? You still say Loaded Lux won, like round for round, bar for bar, really understanding. Now I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first watched that battle, I felt like Loaded Lux then snatched the soul out of Calico just from the angle that he took, because he already knew the D-boy BMF shit that Calico was gonna come in there, so he took the right approach. But my thing is, if you choke up, you damn near supposed to already automatically lose that round. So if that's the case, if you already lost that round, so that gave Calico one of those other rounds. Yeah, he did, David. Like, man, I felt like when I first watched that shit, I was sad for Calico that day. Like, god damn, he talking to this nigga like this, he his son. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt bad for him. Like, god damn, dog, you might have to scrap this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, this, you might have to fight that nigga. You can't let that nigga talk to you like that. But he did choke. How you feel about Blac Youngsta saying somebody snitching? Shit, man. It depends on what Blac Youngsta really know to be able to say that someone is snitching. Now, and I see, it's only so much I can really say, but it all depends on what he really know to feel like if he know for a fact someone's snitching. If you went out and did something or had something to do with something and you didn't get caught in the act, and then months later you and your boys get swooped up on it, regardless of the he say she say that people say on the net and all that, but indictments have to be signed and approved by a grand jury for certain individuals, and if that's the case, they got to have enough evidence to sign off on that indictment. And if the people that got pulled in did have something to do with whatever, then that means someone had to tell something. But people feeling like, a lot of people saying that Young Dolph was dry snitching through his whole bulletproof thing. I'm from Atlanta, the old Atlanta, and the gay shit. Damn, what the fuck is that? You gonna get this work? Yeah, he said some quotables in there. But the dude that was saying the old Atlanta, like, I mess with Atlanta, like, I respect Atlanta for the simple fact that they one of the only majority black cities in America where, yeah, it's crime and violence there, but when you go to other places that's majority black cities, it'd be like a third world, like, it'd be crazy. So I give Atlanta its respect for birthing a whole bunch of superstars and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that they understand the concept of teamwork. What do I think about JT the bigger figure getting? Shit, I don't know a lot about that. You know what I'm saying? I heard about the situation. I heard he been constantly talking about some dude named Peanut or something like that, and it's supposed to have something to do with Birdman or something like that. I really don't know. And then JT the bigger figure from the West Coast, so you down there on someone else's turf going hard. I don't give a fuck how tough a person is. When you on somebody else's soil, you always at a disadvantage. You can be the most killingest motherfucker from Chicago, but you go to someone else's turf, you at a disadvantage. You might get whacked. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how people play. That's why I don't understand why people, and I'm from up north, but that's why I don't understand why some people, not all, but some people from up north or the East Coast or whatever, they be trying to play down south people like they slow and they behind. They just do, they dialogue might be different, this and that, but them dudes ain't stupid, they ain't slow, they just play the game different. You know what I'm saying? And you will get your ass, it's real niggas and fake niggas everywhere. Yeah, Birdman, shit, the little shit I'm starting to slowly hear about Birdman. You know what I mean? I heard that the dude, BYT or whatever, he's supposed to had just put a lawsuit out or something towards Cash Money. I'm not implicating Birdman, but they saying that he had just did a put out a a lawsuit or something towards Cash Money, and then they say like a couple days later his ass get whacked. So I don't know, man. All I know right now, Cash Money might be the new Death Row for real, cause shit, Birdman ain't playing with niggas. He signing you, he ain't giving you no money, he ain't shooting no videos for you, he putting you on the roster, and nobody ain't. But if you think about it, that's why Birdman got Stunner Island. That him having his house on that water like that is straight protecting him. You know, to kill Birdman if he at home, you know what you gotta do. You either gotta drop down in the helicopter, or you gotta get a fucking little boat and roll your ass over to this nigga crib and try to hop up in this crib to kill him. And then what you gonna do? Hop back in the boat and roll back to the fucking land and try to get away? He know perfectly what he did by buying his house like that. Yeah, the Trump situation, man, there's so much going on in the world right now. It's ridiculous. Those Cash. He said he got a little homie, man. Hey, as far as the dude that say he got a little homie shit, I don't know, man. Who's to say? Hey, from the outside looking in, I could understand why people may assume that, but to me right now, I don't see why anybody would sign with Cash Money. And what Birdman just put out a song with some new dude that's, you know, throwing shots at Rick Ross. See, Birdman not stupid. He still got money. He was just on the Forbes list, still got like $100 and something million. He still got some money. I'm from Alabama. Ain't no slow here. Hey, the dude that say I'm from Alabama, dog, I used to go to A&M in Huntsville, Alabama. My family originated from Birmingham, Alabama before they moved to Detroit. I used to go down there all the time for family reunions, and like I said, I went to Alabama A&M. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Bulldogs, shout out to Alabama State. You know what I mean? I never understood why people really went so hard about Roll Tide and Auburn, and a lot of them niggas never even been to Auburn or the other school, and they rep them to death. But it's crazy hustlers down there in Alabama. Just people do shit different. It's real niggas and it's fake niggas everywhere. Just everybody do shit different, and people doing the same thing that just got different slang for what they saying. I'm a girl. Oh, you went to A&M too? Oh, okay, for sure. Hell yeah, you stayed in the dorms. I stayed in Grayson. I stayed in Stevenson. Yep, them was the main, Stevenson, Grayson, and it was another one, Morris Hall or something like that I stayed in. Before I stayed in Stevenson for like a semester, then came back because I didn't you know, I came back, then I ended up doing another semester, and then I just moved right off campus after that and ended up getting my own apartment after that. What do I feel about Monique telling Oprah and them? Shit, that was a harsh ass statement for her to. I guess sometimes I feel like when a person feel like they ain't got nothing to lose, and people may be. How were the ladies in Alabama? Hold on for 1 second. I guess like when people, if she already feel like she is getting blackballed from them or whatever, I guess when you're back up against the wall, you don't care about what you say. So I guess she not trying to build them bridges. I guess them bridges must be already burnt for real. So I guess she really don't care. You know what I mean? But that was some harsh stuff. Normally them the type of people a lot of people won't say nothing against. But I don't know, man. I be hearing about Oprah doing all type of stuff, opening up all these schools in other countries and this and that. The only thing I heard about Oprah doing one day, she gave everybody in America a motherfucking a coupon to go to KFC to get some goddamn chicken. I mean, what the fuck? But how are the ladies in Alabama? It's a big cultural difference to me between women up north and down south. I wish you could find a girl that's like blended in between the two, but I'm currently in a relationship with a woman that's from down south, so I love them. I love the women from down south, you know, just off the sheer fact that my girl from down south, so I like how they raise, you know what I mean? Oh, you stayed in Thig Pen, oh, and Council. Oh, okay. But you moved off University. But you stayed up in what was the name of that? The UP over there near the Silver Dollar, or Quail Point. Doc, you went to Alabama. Oh, D-Boy, but you went to A&M too? You said, Doc, you went to Alabama. Hell no. Yo, being from, I always like girls from Texas. Like, I'm telling you, most dudes probably from the up north, they shit, man, most East Coast, Midwest, or the West Coast, probably, they get the opportunity to get up out of their surrounding area and go down south. They probably end up wifing them a girl from down south and then try to bring her back home or whatever. And that ain't no diss towards the women up north and stuff like that, because most down south guys probably end up loving a girl from up north. You know what I mean? I just think guys, when you used to a certain type of girl from a certain type of place, you just want something different that just raised a little bit different. Like nowadays, some girls, you ask them about cooking, they look at you like, you know what I'm saying, like you done cussed out their mama or something. It's like, God damn, I just asked you, can you boil an egg up in this motherfucker? Oh, you was born in Alabama, went to Alabama State. Oh, okay, for sure. Hell yeah. And you know, Alabama A&M and Alabama State, hella rivals, but I fuck with them. They was black and gold. I remember the very first time I went down there to, what's the name? Damn, D-Boy, what's the name of that, the rivalry, the classic that they have down there and between A&M and Alabama State? The very first year I moved down there, I went to go visit. I didn't know who colors was what. I had on like, this is when, you know, the Dunks was out that looked like how the Jordan 1s look now. I had on like some black and gold Dunks. Probably like back in the day, that's when Guess jeans was popping, probably some black Guess jeans and whatever type of yellow shirt. But I was going to A&M, and like everybody there thought I went to Alabama State. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, no, why you say that? And they're like, nigga, that's they colors. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know we was. Yeah, but the Magic City Classic is crazy. Yeah, D-Boy, it'd be crazy. Like, and it starts from the last comments you just said, D-Boy. It start with they mama teaching them that don't just chase a man for the money that he got or what he doing. Like, you gotta be able to bring something else to the table besides pussy. At the end, I don't care where you from. You could be from fucking Egypt. As a woman, you gotta bring something else to the table besides pussy. You know what I mean? You can't just. My granddad, when I was growing up, something that he told me, and this something that he told me, he was like, man, never deal with a girl that's more concerned about what she gonna do with her hair than what she gonna do with her life. And my granddad told me that probably when I was in elementary school, and it didn't make sense to me then, but once I got older, I totally understood what he was saying. I never date a girl or deal with a girl that's more concerned about what she gonna do with her hair than what she gonna do with her life. I'm like, shit, hey, now I make all the sense in the world. I'm from the South and we got thoughts and twerkers and just everybody else find the ones. Yeah, that's true, Smitty. That's real shit. I'm talking about, it's ratchets and stuff everywhere. I think from what we saying, from being from somewhere else, when we come down there, we probably, yeah, we still gonna run across the ratchet ones, the hood, see the ratchets, the hood rats and stuff like that. And not to say that down south women are better than up north. No, I'm not comparing. It just, I think to a northern dude, when he come down there, when they do find one that is culturally raised at how the culture is, I can't even say, now you find a girl that's from down there that was born in 1998 and up, who knows what but if she a little bit older or something like that, she might still have some of the old school principles embedded in her. Real talk, gotta require more from a woman. Yeah, thoughts are all over, for real. And that be the thing, And this is why I get on guys, like, guys got to, I'm not saying like get on a chick, you know what I mean, like ride her back for real, but once dudes start requiring more from a woman, require a woman to be a woman, then more women will act like women, you know what I mean. Then men, we have to appreciate the good women and don't dog the good women out, because then they say, fuck it, why should I be a good woman if I'm still gonna get dogged like if I was a hood rat? So it's a two-way street at the end of the day. But you know, it started from birth, you know what I'm saying, the people that's raising them. You know, people gotta raise men and women with some morals and principles, gotta raise them to know right from wrong, you know, all that stuff, you know. And maybe things might get better. Most underrated rapper from the D. As of right now, and I'm not trying to say like as far as backpack or none of that stuff, but as far as who's really popping right now that I think that should be really, the world should see, I think the world ready to see Payroll, man. For real. The world ready to see Payroll. He didn't put in enough work. He didn't put in the work. He got enough material out there. He didn't been through enough, all that. To me, Payroll ready to see, the world ready to see Payroll. But shit, man, I'm about to end up ending this. But yeah, but if any of y'all that's from the Bay, or if y'all know who Messy Marv is, because I'm gonna try to still get this interview together with him. If there's any questions that y'all want me to ask Messy Marv, drop it up under any of the comments under any of the videos, and I end up seeing them and writing them down so I can ask him that. Two, if you're not following me on social media, you know, I am Doc Hicks on Twitter, DocHicksTv on IG. Chop it up with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Just chop it up with me. And if it is anybody that you want me to try to interview, leave it in the comment section and I'll try to figure it out and put it together to try to put the interview together, or even tweet them directly and tell them like, hey, you need to know who Doc Hicks is and do an interview. You know what I mean? Like, shit, we all working together to try to build this community, because I really fucks with y'all for real. Like, I really appreciate all y'all support, all the comments, everything that y'all do. I appreciate that we building a community over here, like-minded people. Every so often a little troll will slip through, but if you really notice by my comment section, we ain't really got a ton of trolls over here. We kind of keep it under control, so I appreciate that. Much love to everybody that's been supporting, and I'm about to go ahead and clock up out of this, but I'm gonna be back on, try to whip up some videos for tomorrow. All right, peace, y'all.